Today we're going to be checking out my solid rosewood Fender Stratocaster. Now this is a 2000, I believe, 15. It was made exclusively for Guitar Center, and they are currently making it in the Pro Series, but not the Standard Series anymore. The only thing that's not stock on this guitar, the way you would get it, is I did add locking tuning keys. I do that to every guitar as soon as I get it. So here is the very exact guitar in every way. It has the locking keys, like I said, upgraded. It has the same Fat 50s pickup, same model, same everything, same weight even. They're almost identical to within about an ounce of each other's difference. The strings are the same. I put Addario 9-gauge strings on both guitars, and I set the action on both guitars identical. They are at 0.75 millimeters off the 3rd fret, and we have 1.25 millimeters off the 12th fret. And I have set the pickups to the exact same heights. So the guitars are identical in every way. So I wanted to see, how different does a solid maple neck sound versus a solid rosewood. Now, something to point out, because obviously it's not scientific, this is just us checking out gear. There is a coating on the maple necks, and the rosewood neck is raw. Single note test, ready? So after listening to those clips, I don't know what you're going to be able to hear on YouTube. Also, I'll just talk about how I feel about what I've listened to and what I've played having the two guitars. So it really kind of is interesting because it's the opposite of what I would perceive. If we were comparing right now a rosewood fretboard maple neck to that solid maple neck, the way the guitars sound is the opposite. I would think that the maple neck would be bright, and I would think that the maple neck with the rosewood fretboard would be warm. In this case, with a solid rosewood neck, I find it's very bright, and the maple neck is warmer. So it's definitely, and I prefer the rosewood neck. I'm just going to be honest. Of the two guitars, I think I prefer this guitar. I like them both for their individual kind of sounds and qualities. They are close enough. I'm not using overdrive because, to be honest with you, the overdrive, they're going to sound very, very close. There's a snap to this guitar that I just really enjoy. Yeah, I just really like that. Everything about it, it's smooth, but it is a guitar that can get you into trouble. I would imagine with certain amps and certain situations, those bright strings are bright. So if you don't like bright sound, I would not look at the solid rosewood neck guitar, which I think is going to be the opposite of what a lot of people assume. Now, guitars are very individual. This guitar could just act like that, and then we could pick up a solid rosewood neck somewhere else. However, I was at a couple guitar centers recently, actually 4 of them, in a couple different states. I was in California, I was in Arizona, and I was in Tennessee, and I went to different guitar centers, and they all had the new solid rosewood neck guitars, and I picked them up. And one thing was consistent. They were all pretty heavy. This one is not. And they all had that same sound that I'm describing to you now, that bright, kind of snappy attack sound that I really connect with playing Warwicks over the years, Warwick basses, when the old Wingate necks, the solid hard wood necks, had that really bright kind of snap to them. Yeah, so definitely that sound. With the tone controls, though, you could warm it right up. I mean, it's... So... But feeling-wise, it feels great. It feels unique and interesting. It feels like I'm holding a really substantial piece of quality, because it's really dense, right? You can feel it's dense. When you touch it, you can feel that you're not pushing any vibration through it, right? And I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you're at home with your current guitar, especially if you have a maple neck or a mahogany neck, if you kind of thump on it with your thumb, you can kind of feel vibration travel through the neck. This guitar, when you thump on it, it's almost like I can't feel any vibration on this side of the guitar because it's just so dense. It's just not going to transfer the stuff. And I think that's what's giving its bright sound. I think the strings are not being absorbed a little bit by the neck to soften those vibrations. Again, that's just a guess based on what I'm playing in theory. So who knows? As we know, if you've seen the video I did on the side E's thing, the rosewood laws, I'm sure it's going to be problematic to get more rosewood effectively, so we might see companies definitely not want to do solid rosewood necks. However, the issue is not the amount of rosewood they can get their hands on. So doing a solid rosewood neck is not the problem. Just the cost of rosewood in general. You'll see a back off of it, I'm sure. So I thought that's another reason why I want to check out one of these now. And I didn't want to wait 5-10 years and find out that they're really expensive or you can't get a hold of them as easily. So something fun to do. All right, guys, as always, thank you for your time and know your gear.